So we will continue studying this chapter 8, and hopefully we will finish it today. And we were just discussing in Telegram group the due date submitting this homework assignment is Wednesday. Okay, so try to submit before Wednesday, and the last day is Wednesday. And you will have quiz from this chapter next week, either Monday or Tuesday. Most probably Monday. I will let you know. Anyway, when it is ready, you will receive a message, right? Email about the dates, number of questions, and everything. Okay. So we were talking about personal and household finances last week. We solved around 5 or 6 questions, as I remember. And there are more questions. All questions are different. Just practicing 1 or 2 questions is not enough. And I suggest you to solve, to practice all the questions if possible. Okay. It is not only for this course. As I told you, this chapter, all the problems are directly related to our daily life situations. If you practice, it's good, number 1, to get good score in your quiz and final exam. And also for your further studies, it will be very useful. Okay. And also final exam, the question will come from chapter 8, 9, 10. All right, and the 11 and 12. Also the final exam contains questions from, includes a question from chapter 8. Okay, keep this in mind. Anyway, so now we'll talk about interpretation and use of tables and charts. All right. And interpretation and use of tables and charts, that means that number 1, if you are given a table or a chart, how should we understand? All right. And how do we use them, or how are they used in our daily life? We'll talk about this. Of course, actually, they have very broad application, wide range of applications. We do not have time to consider every example. Just we are going to consider a few cases. Okay, study a few different cases. We will start with utilities bills. All right. Interpretation, use of tables and charts. Many organizations and government departments and agencies publish their numerical information in the form of tables and charts. Right? For example, you are sitting for several different exams and you have quizzes, you have assignment scores. When you just actually access our classroom system, you will see that all the data are displayed in tables, right? Your name, your final exam score, your midterm, and after that your quiz 1, quiz 2, quiz 3, and assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3, maybe if you have portfolio or different projects, right? And this is one way of displaying data. As you know, actually we can display data in different forms. Number 1 is most commonly used, one of the most commonly used one is displaying data in tables. In many places, actually, data are displayed in tables. And tables, we know that they consist of, what is it, rows and columns. Yeah, these people, it is okay, right? We have 24. After 5 minutes, I will lock the meeting because I can accept everyone one by one. Okay, so one way of displaying data is using tables, and also other tables are, what are these? We can use frequency table, chart, line graph, histogram, bar graph, pictogram, and what else? Pie chart, for example. These are all different ways of displaying data. Okay, so here we are going to study utilities bills, number 1, postal charts, ABC photocopying services, road tax for private cars. All right. Once again, you should not think like this. Okay, utilities bills, I don't have to know how to calculate this. It just comes, actually, they send it to our house. I know the total bill and I can pay. It's not like this. Our approach is, we are assuming that, imagine that maybe you become a manager in Electricity Cambodia, for example, or you are a manager in Postal Charts, or you are going to do some photocopying business, for example. You're going to open several branches, for example, in Phnom Penh, and you have photocopying services. If you are in charge of this, you are the one who actually prepare all the charts and also determine for how much you are going to charge for each copy. And you need to make such a table that it should be attractive to people, number one. Number two, it should be easy to calculate, right? And also number three, actually when you're doing business, number one is you should know how to attract people, and also we should try to minimize our costs, expenses, right? And try to make the maximum profit possible. All right. You need to approach the problem like this. Otherwise, okay, it just comes to my house and I don't have to know how to calculate. This is what we think, what we hope at least. Okay. So road tax for private cars, the similar thing. If you are working at Ministry of Works and Public Transportation, for example, you must know. As a just regular worker, maybe you don't have to know. They just give you the table, look at this and calculate. But if you are working in a good position, you have to know this stuff, right? Because you may give interview to some news channels, or you may give a kind of talk to the people. So you need to have some idea about this system, okay? So first we will start with utilities bills, okay? This type of bill, maybe in Cambodia, the format is a little bit different, after all similar, right? And also we get different bills for water, for trash, for electricity, right? And blah, blah, blah. But whatever it is, maybe in Singapore, it is quite well organized that this is what we get at the end of each month in Singapore, okay? So this is one example for, what is it? The table below gives the water tariffs imposed by Singapore Power and the various taxes. And GST, as you know, this GST is goods and services tax that is imposed on the companies who are offering service or who are receiving services, such as, what is it? The trash collection, for example, is a kind of service to the community, right? So they just leave your garbage outside your house, and this people, they just come and collect this. So they are offering service. And for service, you have to pay some amount, right? And plus, and also you need to pay tax on this. Actually, it depends also on the agreement. Either the cost includes the tax. Sometimes the companies, they don't want to include the tax. They just want to get their share, and the tax you have to pay separately, depending on the country system, tax system. But here, how should we understand this table? As you see, Samnang, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Oh, can you hear me well?
Yes, really
Good.
well, sir.
Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, if you can hear, it's good. Sometimes I feel that I'm just talking to the wall and nobody's there. I just want to make sure that at least you can hear, because I'm recording here. If something is wrong, we have to solve the problem immediately. Anyway, gentlemen, here we have a table. As you see, as we know, the table consists of, what is it, columns, 1, 2, 3, right? Here we have tables, columns, and the rows, right? Types of services. What are these? Water, domestic, waterborne fee, and electricity, sanitary appliance fee, refuse removal fee. Okay, some different services. But usually in Cambodia, as far as I know, what we pay at the end of each month is, I pay for the electricity, we pay for water, and also for trash collection, and cable TV. If you have Wi-Fi, we have Wi-Fi. But this information was taken a few years ago, like 2005, but nowadays it may be a bit different. But it doesn't matter. After all, we are just learning how to calculate, how to interpret any table. After we study this, actually you should be able to interpret any kind of data similar to this, table similar to this. If they just give you the information, and after that, we can just look at the table and we should be able to understand and interpret this data, okay? So here, water domestic. This water, as you know, that's the water that we're using for our bathroom, toilets, anything, right? So it says here that consumption block, meter cube per month. It means that if the consumption block the amount of water that you use is between 1 and 40 meter cube, it says that it is how much for each meter cube of water. That means 1 meter cube is 1 ton, right? It is, the tariff is 1.17. You have to pay this to the company, plus water conservation tax, 30% tax on this amount. Okay, for example, let's say in a certain month you use some water and it is less than 40, the amount is $30, for example. Okay, you have to pay $30 to the company plus 30% of $30, it is $9, right? And $9 you need to pay to the tax department if you are living in Cambodia. And above 40. Okay, and also here why we are doing this, to encourage people not to waste water, right? Otherwise, if it is cheap, you don't care much, you can use even when you do not need much. And when you are brushing your teeth, you just keep the tap open and something like that. In many countries, as you use more than enough, all right, more than enough, the actual government charges more than usual price. And this is why, because to encourage people not to waste water or electricity, or if you're using natural gas, the same thing applies to this. Okay, so above 40, it means that if it is above 40, 1.40, what does it mean? Again, it's very similar to tax calculation. Okay, very similar. For example, in a certain month, if you use 45 meter cube of water in a certain month, how we calculate this? At that time, we had to split this into two, right? 45 means it is 40 plus 5, because it says above 40, below 40. The tariffs are different, right? So if it is above 40, we have to allocate the company charge on this price. So the first 40 you pay on this, and on the total 30% you pay tax. And how much more you use than 40? About 45, right? For 5 meter cube of water, the tariff is this. They apply this tariff, okay, to the exceeded amount. So it is 1.40, and also tax is higher, 45%. Okay, and this is how we should understand. Very similar to the income tax, the calculation of income tax. Next one, waterborne fee. Okay, waterborne fee is maybe the company, right? In the first step, they are charging for water. To bring water to your house, they have to install a lot of pipes, dig the ground, and they have also certain expenses, right? And also the pipes, actually, it gets old in a few years. Every maybe 5 years or 10 years, they have to renew it. They have to replace with a new one, right? And also, actually, they collect for this, and this money they will use for that renewal of pipes. Anyway, something like this. But here it says that 0.30 dollars per meter cube of water per month, inclusive of GST. Inclusive of GST. And also one thing you should understand, that in Singapore, whenever you spend money for this, you need to pay for GST, right? At restaurants, airports, and everywhere. And usually in Singapore, it is 5%. Here also, it is not included. That's why you have to pay tax. Plus, after that, we have to pay also GST, goods and services tax. But here it says that inclusive. So on this amount, it's not going to, they are not going to charge GST on this service. Okay. Another one is electricity, 18.26 cents per kilowatt. Okay, this is just flat rate, it does not change. And after the sanitary appliance fee, maybe environment, right? Also, they have to keep it clean. For that, they need workers, they need to give salary to those people. Sanitary appliance fee, $3 per unit, inclusive of GST. So here on this service, we are not going to pay GST at the end. But we have to pay and also extra GST on each, right? On water, and here electricity, and refuse removal fee. Okay, this is the table. How should we understand? So now we will see one example related to this. You just keep in mind, if you have, I don't know, on the paper, also you can keep your eyes on the paper. All right. Now, let's consider this example. Suppose Mr. Allen uses 25.4 meter cube of water and 576 kilowatts. of electricity in August. If he has 3 units of sanitary appliances in the house and has to pay for refuse removal fee, the total unit utility bill for August will be. All right. So here I have a lot of things I need to write one by one. Number one, for water, I will calculate. For waterborne fee, I will calculate. Electricity, I will calculate. Sanitary appliance fee, I will calculate. And refuse removal fee, we will calculate, right? And these are the rates, right? And plus, after that, on this amount, on electricity, on refuse removal fee, we have to add this GST tax. And after that, I can get, and also this tax, right? We can get total bill that you have to pay from your pocket to these services. So the first one is water tariff, and how much water he used. It is 25.4, right? And that is less than 40. So less than 40, it is 1 point, how much? It is 1.17. So 1.17. The second one is water conservation tax, right? On this amount, also we need to pay water conservation tax. The second thing we are going to pay is waterborne fee, right? And the third one is electricity, right? And the next one is sanitary appliance fee, right? First, we have to evaluate this stuff. And also we have refuse collection fee, right? Water tariffs, water conservation tax, waterborne fee, electricity, sanitary appliance fee, refuse collection fee. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So the first one, how much water did you use? 25.4 that Alan used. That is less than 40, right? And the tariff is 1.70 for each meter cube of water, right? If you evaluate this, you get, what is it? Approximately correct 2 decimal places. I'm not writing exactly because it's here we have more than 2 digits after the decimal point. So we have to round it off, right? So that is 29.72, correct 2 decimal places. That is, we have to pay for water tariff to the company, but still we have to pay on tax. Next one is water conservation tax. For water, how much we are paying? 29.32. It says that for each dollar, it is 0.30, right? It's like 30%. So 0.3 and multiply this, we get how much? It is 8.92. So we are paying this for water conservation. So next one is waterborne fee. Waterborne fee, and is 25.4. It is 0.30, right? Because for each we need to pay this amount. This one is water conservation tax. That is 30%. Also waterborne fee. It is 30, right? 30%. So we have to pay for each meter cube of water, $0.30. That is 30 cents, right? So that is equal to 7.62. Okay, this is all together we are paying for water. This is how much we use. For the use of water, we are paying tax. And also this one is waterborne fee. Okay, that is all for water, all these expenses for the use of water. Next one is electricity. How much electricity did he use in the month of August? 576, right? 576. 576. And for each kilowatt of electricity, it is 18.26 cents. But here we change this into dollar, so we have to divide it by 100 because $1 is 100 cents, right? So how much it is? It is 105.18. Okay, that is for the electricity. And the sanitary appliance fee, 3.3, because we have 3 units. For each unit, we have to pay $3. So it's exactly $9. And refuse collection fee, it is for one, right? It is 16.20. So for refuse collection fee, every month we have to pay 16.20, right? But some of them include GST, some of them do not include GST. So now also we have to add GST, right? Goods and services tax. Okay, when we do so, GST at 5% on this amount we have to pay, and also for this tax we have to pay. And this one, it includes GST, that's why we are not evaluate GST on this. And next one, 105.3 electricity, also we have to pay GST. And also this one, it includes GST, that's why we are not including here, because in the table, if you remember, they already include GST. Refuse collection fee doesn't include GST, so also on this amount, we have to pay GST. So altogether added up and then multiplied by 0.05, this total is 160.02, multiplied by 0.05, that's about approximately equal to $8. That's all, right? So now to get the total bill, I have to add all the things together, right? Now we are doing manually in real life, of course, we do not do this manually. We should just use this, we can calculate this using spreadsheet. Even to do this one, we have to know what is going on here, how to write this formula, right? And when there's a mistake, we should know how to correct that mistake. Okay, these are all formula in Excel, right? When you're writing formula, just write equal, and after you can calculate this. Maybe that's another topic using Excel. Maybe if you have time, we can see this. Anyway, for now, we're just doing here how computers evaluate this. So total amount to be paid in August is this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this. That is equal to 184.64. Altogether, this total bill is 184.64. That means that from your pocket, this money is going out, right? To meet all these expenses. Okay. Guys, any question? There are 2-3 examples similar to this. Sometimes, let's say, for example, in some example, this one is more than 40, for example, 45 or 47. At the time here, we will have 2 rows. For the first one, that is less than 40 for 40 meter cubed, and in excess of 40. How much more than 40? And here we should calculate also on different tariff. Then we have to add this up. So we'll have more than 1 row here. The only difference if the use of water is more than 40. Okay. All right, that's all about one example, the first example about utilities bills. Second one is postal charts. Okay. The postal charts, if you are interested, for example, in Cambodia, what kind of tables they offer or they display. When you visit EOM Mall as an application, if you're interested, if you're a business student or IR, whatever it is, in EOM Mall, we have post office. You can just go and you can just ask them. For example, I want to send something. For example, let's say you want to send your passport from Phnom Penh to Siem Reap. How much do they charge? When you ask this question, they show you a table, okay? And they have different zones and from one destination place to another place, and how much do they charge? But to do this one, they also show you a table. Now we can just see a different table there, okay? If you have some experience, you will be able to understand the table, okay? Anyway, another one is the table below shows the local mail postage rates and air mail rates for sending mail items to countries in the various zones. That is also one in Singapore. We know that Singapore is a country. At the same time, it's just a city, right? In Singapore, you do not send anything from one city to another city because it's only one city. In Cambodia, for example, we have a lot of different cities from Phnom Penh to Siem Reap, from Siem Reap to Sihanoukville, from Sihanoukville to Battambang, for example. Also, we have such services. That is local, domestic services, right? Another one is international. So actually, they show you two different tables. Anyway, assume that now you are living in Singapore and you go to the postal post office, and when you ask, I want to send something from Singapore to Malaysia or Cambodia or Myanmar, or Thailand. Whatever it is, they ask you, what do you have? And after that, it depends on the size and weight, but here we consider only weight, and they tell you how much you have to pay. Hello, who is that? Please mute your microphone. Who is that? Ang, is it you? All right, continue. So this is the first table, local rates. Okay, weight, step not over. Maximum weight 2 kg. Okay, maximum weight 2 kg. Weight, step not over means not more than 20. All right. So how are letters, printed papers, and small packets? It says that if it is less than or equal to 20, you have to pay 23 cents. Okay. So if it is less than or equal to 40, it is 31 cents. Because less than 20, it is something. Less than 20, 23. Or in different way, we can calculate less than or equal to 40. Like maybe it means that what does 40 gram means? So your weight is greater than 20, less than 40. So you have to pay 31 cents. And it is 100 gram, 50 cents. That means that it is greater than 40, less than 100, right? This is how we should understand. It is 50 cents. And that is between 100 and 250, you need to pay 80 cents. Between 280 and 500, it is $1. And how about more on this? And you just split this into different categories and charge it. For example, you have 750 grams. What is it? It is 500 plus 250. The first 500, it is $1. The next 250, it is 80 cents. Okay. The second one, zone 1, Malaysia and Brunei. It's similar thing. If it is your package is less than or equal to 20 grams, they charge 40 cents. Between 20 and 50, it is 50 cents. Between 50 and 100, it is 80 cents. For additional 100 grams, you have to pay 80 cents. Okay, additional means, for example, 170 grams. How much you pay? It is 80. Additional 80, it is less than or equal to 100, right? It is 80, so 1.60. Anyway, you'll see that in examples. Zone 2, countries in Asia and the Pacific, like except Australia, Japan, and New Zealand. Countries in Asia, what are these countries? It is all the countries in Asia, right? That is Pakistan, India, Cambodia, Laos, Philippines, Vietnam, anyway. So countries in Asia and the Pacific. So first 20 grams, it is 60 cents. For additional 10 kg, it is 25 cents. For example, if you are sending envelope, right? Here, this one is 35 grams. How much do you pay? So for the first 20, I should write this as 20 plus 10 plus 5, right? For this 20, you have to pay 60. And per additional 10 grams, it is 25. So this additional 25, and also for this 25. So we have to pay how much? It is 60 plus 25 plus 25, which is equal to 110 cents, right? For additional 10 kg means this. Zone 2, Australia, Japan, and New Zealand, first 20 kg, 70. For additional 10 kg, 30. Similar thing, right? If it is like, for example, 15 grams, you pay 70, 19 grams, 70, 20 grams, 70. How about if you have 25 grams? It just split into two. The first 20, they charge this, additional 10, it means that additional amount that is greater than 0, less than 10, or equal to 10. Okay, so 25 grams, you have to pay 70 plus 30, that is $1. How about 35? The first 20, 70, the next 10, 30, the next 5, 30. So it is 70 plus 30 plus 30, 130, right? And also here, the similar thing. Okay. Example. For example, to send a letter weighing 75 grams locally, right? And for locally, how much is it? If you look at the table, for the local fee is for Singapore, up to 20 grams, it is 23 cents, right? And less than or equal to 40, it is 31, and less than or equal to 100, it is 50. So that means that this 75, right? This 75, it is between 40 and 100. This one is greater than 40, 75, and less than 100, right? In the table, let me just go back. As see here, it says that 100. What does it mean? 50 means if it is between 40 and 100, we have to pay this amount. Okay? That's why here it is 75. For 75 grams, we have to pay 50. How about to send a mail item weighing 30 grams to China by air mail? So 30 grams, also if you look at the China is in zone 2, right? First 20 grams, it is 60. For additional 10 grams, it is 25. So this 30 is 20 plus 10. The first 20, it is 60. Additional 10 grams, it is 25. So we have to pay 85 cents. All right, guys, you may wonder if I ask a long question in the quiz, how shall we solve this, or in the final exam? Of course, I do not ask you. I just show you one column for China. This is a table. If you send a mail item weighing like 78 grams, how much does it cost? So looking at the table, you have to answer like this. Okay. Another example, to send a mail item weighing how much? 49 grams to New Zealand. If we look at the table, New Zealand is in zone 2. No, except so zone 3. Zone 3, it says that the first 20 grams, it is 70, right? The first 20 grams, because this one is, I can write it as 20 grams plus 10 grams plus 10 grams plus 9 grams, right? The first 20, it says 70. So per additional 10 grams, they charge 30. So I'm just dividing in this way. This one is 70, this one is 30 cents, 30 cents, 30 cents. So that is 70 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30. That is $1.60 to send a mail or a kind of envelope or letter which weighs 49 grams from Singapore to New Zealand by air mail. Okay? Another one is mail item. We want to send it from Singapore to America, USA, or America, any country maybe there, by air mail. Okay? America, where is it? It is in zone 4, right? Countries in Africa, North and South America, including Hawaii, Europe, and the Middle East. That's the last row in our table. It says the first 20 grams, 100. So the first 20 grams, it is 100 plus next for additional 10 grams, 35. So here we have 10 plus 8, right? So for this first 20 grams, we have to pay $1. For additional 10 grams, 10 grams means up to 10 grams. This is how you should understand. It is 35, up to 10 grams, it is 35. So altogether, it is 1.70. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we understand this postal charts and reading this postal table. Again, this is not a standard. Every country, every company, every post office, they may have different tables. After all, it is very similar. If you just get the general idea, then they give you this information and you can understand and deal with this problem. Okay? Guys, less than 1 minute left. Okay, let's have a break. After 10 minutes, we will continue. Enjoy your break. See you again after 10 minutes.